Hi YouTube, FT here, and here's another video. This one is about my display model. It's a particular plane that I'm proud of. It's an F14 Tomcat, and it's a rather large scale. Yes it is, it's a... yes. So I'd just like to share some of the photos and a little bit of information about what goes in some of the detailing of the model. So I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching. Okay, some things to point out. First of all, the radar in the nose cone. This was broken when it arrived. So the only thing I could really do was to super glue it in position, in the down position. This allows the nose cone to close, should I wish to display it that way. And I've had to paint this matte black here. And I took the opportunity just to put a red dot on the front to add a bit of colour. And I might do some more colouring on these lines on the back of the radar. So that was done. Pilots. These pilots fit in nicely. As you can see, there's a gap up to the ejector handle. They're not sitting squashed right up to it. Now both these pilots are made from the G.I. Joe Scarlet, the white and blue Scarlet. I think it's a 1982 Scarlet. I managed to pick up 2 or 3 of them from eBay, quite reasonable price. So when they arrived, I've taken them out of the packets, painted them up to look more military, taken off some of the frills that they had on, and I think they set it off quite nicely. The other thing I've done here is paint red on the steps. Now this was basically because when I opened these they were a pale grey. They were the grey of the moulded plastic and not the actual painted grey, and they looked awful. So I've just painted mine with red paint, gloss red. When they're closed, you can't see the difference, but when they're open they stand out clearly. And also I think it looks good, the fact that you've got the red against the grey with the yellow in there. A bit of warning, if you plan to get one of these, on mine, this bottom step, you can see how it goes, but on mine, as I said, this bottom step was stuck. It was actually glued in, and I've had to use a scalpel to cut and work my way through the glue that was holding it before I could get it to move. Now that's obviously something in production that's caused it. The other problem I had with mine is that these antennae here were broken off, again in shipping. This one is pointed and can catch very easily, and it's a brittle plastic and they just snap off. Now I've done my best to glue them back in the exact same place. You can see on this one I'm going to have to get some paint, gunmetal it looks more like, and just touch up here to take the glue away. But they are very delicate. You put any pressure on them, snap, they're off. The other thing I noticed is that you cannot display this model with the canopy in the up position as I have. The reason for that is this white thing up here, which is made to look like a hydraulic piston, is in fact totally useless and flimsy, and once you've held the cockpit up, if you let go of it, it will just drop back down. My solution to that is quick, simple, anyone can do it. See that black piece of stick, really? What that is a McDonald's coffee stirring stick, cut to size, painted black, and just basically placed in there. So I can just lift the cockpit up a bit more, take that out, and it can close. But from here, for example, you just don't know it's there. Anyone who's looking at it won't notice it because it's painted black and doesn't stand out. Air brake here, that's exactly the same problem as the cockpit, in that it will come up, you let go of it, it just flops straight back down. The air brakes underneath you can push down open from the top. They're fine, they stay down. But this one wouldn't, so again I've used exactly the same solution. Just a bit of McDonald's coffee stirring stick, painted red in this case, and used to prop it open. Okay, something I'd like to talk about is the undercarriage. I'm just trying to get some good angles of it here. It's quite a complex design in that each part of the undercarriage where you can see a silver pin is hinged. And not only that, it unfolds and twists, and you've got to get mounts such as this one up here in the right place. In the end, mine wouldn't stay in place. I had great difficulty with it. I actually broke one of the doors that holds it in place. So I've actually opened the undercarriage out, put it in place, and super glued the connections of the undercarriage that join onto the airframe. So that's one down here, there's one just through in there, there's one up there, there's one up here at the top. They're all super glued in, so they're in place. The suspension of the undercarriage still works. The front undercarriage here opened up very nicely, unfolded. It's more robust than the back ones, and this fake hydraulic ram just clips in place here, and it's quite sturdy. It's got a little bit of movement, but not a lot. You see there? Whereas these rears, they've actually got a huge amount. So you've got to be very careful with them. The other thing I've done on mine is I noticed that the rockets and missiles wouldn't quite fit in properly. There'd be a slightly bent angle or upside down, and you couldn't see the writing. So what I've done is I've reset them, so to speak, and I've trimmed some of the connectors, and I've used glue to connect them in. So the whole missile module, if you like, is one piece on mine, and it is just pushed fit into the bottom of the wing, so I can remove it as one complete unit. Now that's only the outer missiles. The fuel tanks and the missiles on the belly, they clipped in, no problem at all. No problem at all. Now this version is the Weekend of Heroes 2009 Christmas Show Special. So it comes with the lights, and under here there is a light switch. You switch it on, as you can see the LED lights up. You have port and starboard lights. This is blue. Well, I actually think it should be green, but it's no biggie. The engine lights make it look as though it's got reheat on. That's quite nice, especially in the evening when the lights are dim in the room. It glows quite nicely. As you can see here, you have two blue like radar lights shining into the pilot, and the rear here as well, you've got a single one shining in. And again, when the light's dimmed and it's in the evening, that shows the detail up quite nicely. And finally at the front here, you've got a nice red. I'd say they're LEDs, but I don't think they are. I actually think they are bulbs, but I might be wrong on that.